Well, welcome everyone. My name is Barry Tolchin. I'm an academic advisor in the Department of Civil, Environmental, and Geodetic Engineering, and I'm going to be helping you plan your first semester of courses in the Civil Engineering program. So first let me say congratulations on being accepted into the major. It's becoming more and more competitive, so you should be very proud of the fact that you have been accepted into the major, and thank you for accepting your admission. So this is the page where you can find just about any bit of information you would need to help you schedule your classes. You can find our bingo sheet here. There's a curriculum guide and flowchart. There's a list of all of the core courses that we have, technical electives, basically anything you need to help plan your schedule. For this session, we're going to be focusing on the curriculum guide and flowchart to help you plan your first semester of classes at Ohio State. So looking at the flowchart, this is going to show you how our curriculum progresses and give you an idea of which courses you should be taking in the upcoming and subsequent terms. So first, we're going to start with the CE 2050 and 2090 courses. Those should be the courses you should definitely plan on taking in your first semester in the major. If you look at the flowchart, you've got a number of different arrows. A single arrow means that that course is a requisite. You have to take that course before the subsequent course. So if you look at CE 2050, that has a single arrow. You must take that before you take CE 2060. Anywhere where there's a double arrow, so if you look and you see CE 2050 has multiple double arrow courses like CE 2410, 3700, and so forth, that is a co-requisite, meaning that you can take the two courses at the same time. So for any of those core courses that you see listed there, you should be able to take those at the same time that you take CE 2050. However, what you also need to make sure you're paying attention for would be the other classes that are also requisites. So for example, if you are currently enrolled in Mechanical Engineering 2020, or will be enrolled in ME 2020 in the next term, you could take that course at the same time as CE 3510, provided you're also taking CE 2050 at the same time. However, if you notice there's a single arrow going from ME 2020 to CE 3310, that means while you can take CE 3310 at the same time as 2050, you do need to complete ME 2020 before you take CE 3310. So it's really important to make sure that you're paying attention to those arrows on this flowchart. So first, make sure again you're taking CE 2050 and 2090. Then I would also suggest that you take whichever ME course is the next step for you. So if you're currently enrolled in ME 2010, I would suggest that you take ME 2020. The only exception to that would be if you know you want to pursue something on the water resources side of civil engineering. In that case, I would suggest taking ME 2020, or excuse me, ME 2030. Now, you might see in other majors they will have you taking ME 2020 and 2030 at the same time. If you look at the flowchart, there's nothing preventing you from that. Once you complete ME 2010, you can take either one or both of those classes. However, we do not suggest that you do that. Those tend to be two pretty difficult classes for our students, and we would not suggest that you take those at the same time. So what I would suggest is if you think you want to do something in the structural engineering field, possibly geotechnical engineering, or you're not sure at all what you want to specialize within civil engineering, I would definitely suggest taking the ME 2020. If you're thinking you're probably or pretty sure you want to do something on more of the environmental or water resources side, then I would suggest taking ME 2030 so that we can get you prepared for the fluid mechanics class. Beyond that, you can take any course for which you meet the requisites. So you can look at some of these. If you've completed ME 2020, for example, you might be able to take Civil 3310. If you're going to be in ME 2030, you could also take fluid mechanics at the same time. That's another one of those where I kind of say I don't know if you would want to do that, but you definitely have the ability to do so. Again, we've seen students kind of struggle if they do ME 2030 and fluid mechanics at the same time. So beyond that, again, anything for which you meet the requisites. A lot of times in this term, students are kind of waiting until they complete ME 2020 for some more courses to open up, and that's totally fine. You could also look at taking your science elective And those options are on the back of the curriculum sheet, but I'll let you know that they would be Earth Science 1121, Biology 1113, Environmental and Natural Resources 3000 and 3001. 3001 is the lab, and you do have to sign up for both. Or you could take Geography 2960. Any of those would meet your science elective option. This might also be a really good time for you to take your programming and graphics class. Or if you've only taken 2 of the sciences and gotten into our major, it might be a really good time to take the other science. So if you've taken Physics 1251, it might be a good time to take Chemistry 1210, or vice versa. You also see CE 4000.01 and 4000.02. Those are capstone courses. You will take those much later in your term, probably the last 2 semesters that you're enrolled in the program. So don't worry about taking those. If you have any other questions, back to our website. And on our website, you're going to be able to look up information for the technical electives, the core course offerings. All that information is going to help you, but you should also have received some videos from me on the core elective options and technical electives and so forth. One of the things we'd like you to do is make sure that you are filling out a civil engineering course planning worksheet. That is going to be a list of all the requirements. It's an Excel document, and you can plan out your entire time to degree. So if you, other people, maybe your parents, want to have a good idea of when you're going to be graduating, that planning worksheet is a great idea. I always suggest that what you do is take an attempt, fill out that worksheet, come in and see either me or Mary, and we'll help make sure that you've sorted everything out. I hope this has been beneficial. I hope that you feel like you're ready and prepared for your first semester in the major. If you have any other questions, you can feel free to send me an email at tolchin5@osu.edu. You can also feel free to go to our website under Academic Advising and follow the links to schedule an appointment. Again, congratulations on being accepted into the major, and we look forward to seeing you soon.